Here is your Golfer's Almanac for Friday, June 2nd, 2023. Today's the birthday of Charlie Sifford, born Charles Luther Sifford in 1922 in Charlotte, North Carolina. He started caddying at the age of 13 and then moved to Philadelphia, where he turned pro in 1948 and competed in the United Golfers Association, a series of tournaments for black professional golfers. Sifford won the National Negro Open 6 times. His first attempt to qualify for a PGA Tour event was the 1952 Phoenix Open. Sifford was helped by Joe Louis, the former world heavyweight boxing champion, who earlier in 1952 was the first African-American to play a PGA event when he was invited to play in the San Diego Open as an amateur through a sponsor's exemption. I didn't know this. Louis used his celebrity status to push the PGA to change their bylaws. In 1957, Sifford won the Long Beach Open, though it was not considered an official PGA Tour event, though he did beat many well-known golfers in the field. He played in the U.S. Open in 1959 and became a member of the PGA Tour in 1961. He won 2 official events, the Greater Hartford Open in 1967 and then in 1969, the Los Angeles Open. He also won other unsanctioned tournaments in the 60s and 70s. Sifford won once on the Champions Tour, though he also won the 1975 Senior PGA Championship at Walt Disney World. This was before it was considered a major or even part of the Champions Tour, and has been retroactively made a senior major. Sifford was a true pioneer in the game and had the respect of his fellow golfers. Lee Trevino said, "You have to put Charlie Sifford in the same category as Jackie Robinson." Also born on this day, Opal Hill, born in 1892 in Newport, Nebraska. She started playing golf at the age of 31 after a doctor suggested she get outside into the sun and fresh air. She turned pro in 1938 and is one of the founding members of the LPGA in 1950. She is only credited with 2 professional wins because there were so few professional golf tournaments for women at the time. She won the Women's Western Open twice in 1935 and 36, which has retroactively been deemed an LPGA major. Hill played in 3 Curtis Cup matches, though she was 40 years old when the Curtis Cup started. She posted a 66 in 1937 when she was in her mid-40s. That was the best score recorded by a woman in tournament golf to that point, and wasn't beaten for 15 years until Patty Berg shot a 64 in 1952. And Craig Stadler was born on this day in 1953 in San Diego, California. He played golf for the University of Southern California and won the 1973 U.S. Amateur at Inverness as a Trojan. This U.S. Amateur was the first in the match play format after 8 years of stroke play competition. Stadler turned pro in 1976 and has won 13 times on the PGA Tour, including the 1982 Masters that he won in a playoff against Dan Poole. Stadler won 3 times on the European Tour and then started playing on the Champions Tour in 2003, where he has 9 wins, including 2 Champions Tour majors, the Ford Senior Players Championship and then the Geld Wen Tradition in 2004. In his first year on the Champions Tour, he also won the 2003 BC Open, the first player over the age of 50 to win on the tour in over 25 years. The Walrus was the first player to ever win on the PGA Tour after winning on the Champions Tour. And his son, Kevin, has also won on the PGA Tour as well as the European Tour, making Craig and his son, Kevin, also known as the Smallrus, the only father-son duo to win on both the PGA and the European Tour. Happy birthday, Craig. Also on this day in 1914, Johnny Bulla was born, John Guthrie Bulla, in Newell, West Virginia. Bulla won once on the PGA Tour, the 1941 Los Angeles Open, but he won a variety of other sectional tournaments, including the Arizona Open, 14 times. He never won a major, but finished in the top 10 12 times, including runner-up in the 1939 and 1946 Open Championships, and then in 1949 at the Masters. Bulla played right-handed, though he putted from the left side of the golf ball. He was one of the first golfers to endorse products sold outside of golf pro shops. He played with a value golf ball sold at Walgreens for 25 cents and endorsed golf clubs for the Sears and Roebuck Company. Today is the birthday of Robert White, born in St. Andrews, Scotland in 1876. White emigrated to the United States in 1894 to study agronomy at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. He also worked as a greenskeeper and golf professional. White was the first president of the Professional Golfers Association of America, the PGA, taking that post when the organization was created in 1916. White designed a number of golf courses, mostly in the Northeast, as well as South Carolina. White designed and built the first putting green at the White House in 1954 for President Dwight Eisenhower. He died in Myrtle Beach in 1959 at the age of 83. On this day in 1901, a Sunday, Benjamin Adams was arrested for disturbing the peace of the day by playing golf at the Sag Kill Golf Club in Yonkers, New York. It was illegal to play sports on Sundays at the time. A trial was held a week later, and Adams was discharged by Judge Kellogg and a jury of 6 after a hard-fought legal battle. The New York Times reported the decision was received joyously by those who play baseball and the members of the Sag Kill Golf Club, of which Adams was a member. The headline was, "Can Play Sunday Golf." Well done, Mr. Adams. On this day in 2022, the amateur Ingrid Lindblad fired an opening round 65 at the U.S. Women's Open at Pine Needles, setting the record for an amateur in the U.S. Open. Lindblad was a sophomore at Louisiana State University and was paired with fellow Swede and legend Annika Sorenstam. Lindblad's caddy was another Swedish golfer, Sophie Gustafsson. Lindblad finished the tournament as the low amateur in a tie for 11th. Here's a quote, really a bit of golf philosophy from Johnny Bulla. Think about the next shot, not the last one. That's it for today in golf history. Play fast, repair all the pitch marks you can find, and keep your golf ball in the short grass. Your Golfer's Almanac is a GolfToons production. It's written, produced, and narrated by me, Michael Duranko. I invite you to check out our original golf illustrations and the humor essays that accompany each of the golf cartoons. Tour Backspin is a weekly golf history newsletter that celebrates the PGA Tour in the 1960s and 70s with tie-ins to today's tour. They offer a bunch of content, contests, and other interesting bits. See the link in the show notes and subscribe.